Welcome
Back.
to the TAE Time Podcast. Podcast. How's things? How's everyone? I hope you guys are having a good time, a good Saturday. Recording this on Saturday.
As always, fresh.
So fresh off the dome, fresh everything, you know, the whole thing. Different set. We're trying things out. Yeah. See how it goes. Let's see how it goes.
See how you like it. I think, so the main reason we changed is because I wanted to use our mics that Farouk actually went through the effort of bringing here. And when I listen to our podcast back, I hate bad audio quality. Like, it drives me insane.
The audio is fine, I think, because
it's a little muffled. I'm a little low.
No, it's just the problem is we have so much echo in here in comparison. And the thing is, because it's a bigger space, and then those mics are fine. The problem is I have to, in the last episode I didn't adjust the levels to make it higher, because when I adjust the levels it kind of evens it out, but the problem is you can't adjust it too much either, and it also depends on like where you're keeping the mic. So, but obviously like all that doesn't matter in the end of the day, and like I think it's fine either way. I don't care really whether they're, I like that set though. I do like the couch. I think it gives a better, more inviting vibe, but we'll see.
I think so too, but
we can't sit down. Mics. No, because the problem is the mics then just all the sounds just come and it's annoying. I hate that more than I hate the.
I listen to our podcast back and I don't like this.
Yeah, but so. All right.
We're here.
What are we here for? Come on.
We're here for Lagos Part 2. Part 2. I know you guys have been waiting for this. We in our last episode we talked a lot about the mainland, the city, like Lagos. That's not the Detty December Lagos.
Yeah, we talked about like Lagos normally.
Yeah, today is time for us to talk about the meat and potatoes, the Detty December.
What everyone's watching Lagos. Their TikTok content for.
Exactly. This scene of Lagos is definitely very different to the mainland and like regular people living, like your grandma's hometown, stuff like that.
I don't know. I think it's very similar. Like you didn't get to see it, but like normal Lagosians are partying as well. They're enjoying themselves, like they're having a good time. Like it's the same as anything where like there are people who live in an area and they just chill their homebodies, and people
I think
who
it's
don't.
just the fact that there's been so many celebrities there. It's really like there's like the hot spots that are difficult to get into, the table culture surrounding it. So I don't know the regular party scene, but I know that the celebrities aren't there.
Yeah, but like I mean, like TikTok. The concept is still the same. It's the same partying, the same way it's done. Everything's the same. It's just that it's a different club with different levels of people in there. That's because like even like the last time I was there in 2022, we went to a lounge that's where my dad's friend's estate is, and it's literally just in the estate. You just go there, and if it was a random night, it was busy. I got good food, the music was good, and people were there vibing, and that's just a random lounge. Yeah, like inside an estate, like so like it's the same concept. The difference is just obviously the exclusivity, the classism, and the abundance of wastage of wealth. Anyway,
that's true.
So
that is true. I think it's obviously really important to talk about that, like the whole exclusivity, the table culture, the bottle poppers, and you and your friends have been the bottle poppers.
I am not a bottle popper.
And I want to talk about the difference of like between men and women going to these spaces, which was very different. Yeah. But how much was it? How hard was it to book?
I don't know how much it was.
Say for example, like
it depends. Like, so the thing is, obviously, when it comes to anyone who knows, because bottle popping is everywhere. But yeah, Lagos does love to do tables. In those places, like in general, because I feel like, once again, don't everyone start killing me now because of me making my own generalizations of my own assumptions of what I've seen and what I've experienced. But essentially, like, I feel like the reason table culture is so adherent in Lagos is because lounges were the main thing. Like, we like having food. Like, a lounge is somewhere where you can have good music and food. Like, everywhere you can go, I remember people ordering food pretty much. And like, so obviously you can't be standing around ordering food and eating food, right? Then there's also that aspect of like People like having bottles. They don't like in the West here, very much like, I want this strawberry daiquiri. I want whatever. Whereas in Lagos, it's like, yo, I want this bottle of Casamigos. I want this bottle of Azul. I want this, that, the other. So like, obviously, once again, that's another thing you're not holding. You need a table to have these things, right?
Ice,
you know, all these things. So, and especially if you're in a group of people, whatever, you know, it's like, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think,
remember being in this place and we were kind of like standing around. I was like, where's the bar? Where's the bar? And Farouk was like, no, the bar comes to you. Like, there's a guy who comes to you and asks you what you want, and he brings it to you. I was like, oh, you guys.
There is a bar all the way at the back.
Yeah, but like nobody's going there.
Yeah.
You know.
Even when I went to the bar, and I wanted to, like, for example, there is a bar and there are bartenders who can make stuff. But I went to a bar and I just wanted Red Bull. So I had to go to the end where the people who took your orders were going to go get their stuff. And I had to go to the person and be like, hey, I want Red Bull. And she's like, oh, okay, yeah, just gives it to me and whatever. You know, but because I couldn't get it from the bartender, because bartender's like, I'm not giving you Red Bull. Go down and get the Red Bull. Like, if you want a drink, yeah, I'll get you a drink, make you a drink. But like, you know, I'll make you a drink, but I'm not going to whatever. So like, yeah, it's definitely not common. It is definitely more like table culture is very prevalent, which is interesting. Like I said to my friend, like, for example, don't kill me on this, but I've heard and I've seen that, like, I think it's Houston, table culture and Atlanta too became way more prevalent because of the amount of Nigerians there who opened up places or things or whatever. And so like, it makes sense, you know, like, and like you see it all the time on like podcasts, social media, whatever, that of like all these women talking about like all Nigerians in these spaces and how like they'll always be popping bottles, whatever. It comes from somewhere. Like, it comes from us, like from way back home. We do the same thing. So anyway, yeah, table culture is massive in Lagos. And
I understand that it's like the food aspect and stuff, right? But I found it interesting because I felt like people weren't dancing as much as
you say that, but I still felt like people were dancing. But I think the difference is like, it's harder to dance in a confined space than it is to dance in like an open dance floor. Like, take for example, when we went to Culture FM, everyone was dancing. Yeah. Right? Everyone.
But I feel like it obviously comes with the event, and it like, okay, that was an event, right? November was an event. Yeah. But if I'm going to like a place,
no, but there's certain places do have more space where and you can dance. But like, obviously, as I said, it has more to do. Like, people dance a little bit, like they shimmy in their own confined space. They're like enjoying themselves. So like, it's a completely different thing, you know, versus like, and you know, Nigerians know how to dance. Like, you know, we do leg work, we do everything. But the thing is, like, you have to have the space available for it, you know? Like, when you're, like, as I said, like, all those places are more lounges and stuff than they are, like, what do you guys call them here? Discotecas, you know, like in Eastern Europe, discotecas, you know, like the clothes are literally made for you to just dance. Like, people dance at like weddings, people dance at like party, like more open floor parties, like stuff like that. They have opportunities, but like, I feel like the club lounges like to drink, eat food, have a good time, enjoy the music, and also dance. You're dancing, like they are literally dancing, you know, but obviously maybe not to the extent of like an open floor where you have nothing else to do but dance. Do you get me?
So then, okay, obviously with, you know, the culture around it and stuff, you need a table, right? Like, you can't really just get in and stand around. It's like really visible that you're awkwardly standing around.
You can't even really get in if you don't have a table in some place. So on the hot places of the night.
How do you go about booking a table in Lagos?
Well, you find out what use the handy dandy Farouk list of clubs. You find out the clubs that are good that everyone wants to go to. You see where...
Name a few.
There's a lot. I'm not going to give it to you guys for free, actually, to be honest. You know, like, go and ask them.
No, but people are watching
beg in the comments. Beg in the comments.
They want advice. Like, you know, I want to put it on socials. Like,
yeah. You have a lot. You have Zaza. You have Boho. Obviously, Obies House on a Monday. You have Quilux. You have Hotbox. You have... W Bar Lounge. You have even like places like Kingfisher that we went to eat, you know, like as we were leaving, that place was getting packed. You have so many places on that like island, and we're talking about the island, by the way, because that's where we're partying, right? Not the mainland, but you have all these places. that you can go to, all really, really good places, and like even more that I can't even think off the top of my head. There's just so many, and that they're all vibes. They're all party places. You go and you just like, wow, like
So
everyone.
how do you go about booking a table?
You go to their Instagram or whatever, and it's always gonna be WhatsApp. It's pretty much always gonna be WhatsApp because we use WhatsApp like crazy. Everyone uses WhatsApp, so it's like, and you go and you WhatsApp being like, yo, I want a table for this many people, whatever, and usually on the thing there's already a minimum. Whether it's either an automated thing or there's someone's messaging. Mostly more time it's messaging you now than automated thing, and it's like, oh, I want a table for this many people and whatever time. And then it's like minimum usually around December time is 1 million to 1.5 million naira minimum.
And how much is that in euro?
I'm trying to think.
Let's be transparent.
I can't even remember correctly. Like,
let me look it up.
a million naira is maybe like around, no, like it's like there's no point because that's not really, but it's like 600 something maybe. 600, like about 700 or so, maybe.
I'm gonna put 1.5. It says 940.
Yeah, that's not accurate though, because like once again, like the one there fluctuates, and the rate you get at Google is not the rate anyone's actually getting, because you have to actually use all the conversion apps to do it, because those are the ones that actually give you the rates.
Right.
Like whatever the central banks or whatever are saying is not. That's a whole different story for anyway. But yeah, so let's say like 700 to 1,000 euro.
You can easily spend 1K on a night out
Like,
in Lagos.
Like that's your minimum entry price. That's your minimum entry price. And like I'm trying to remember, the cheapest bottle I saw was 500,000 Casamigos. No, it wasn't even Casamigos. 500,000. I think it was 500,000 something for whether it was Henny or Casamigos. One of those two. And obviously you can't get one bottle because those tables are usually for like 10 people or so. Sometimes depending where you go with 5 people, and let's be realistic, you're not splitting that with everyone at the table. You're only splitting that with the mandem. You're not splitting that. And obviously there's that whole thing of like, there are people in Lagos who come and they have to do split with their small boys. And then there are people who can do it on their own. I don't give a fuck how rich I am. I'm splitting that with my boys. Unless I'm so much more richer than them, then yeah, I'll take care of them. But like when we're all chilling, yes, we're small boys chipping in together to get the table. Get out of here.
Nothing wrong with that, honestly.
But obviously there are some people who spend that on their ones, pay for everyone at the table. They're like, yeah, 2 million, nothing for one night. I'm not doing that. That's not financially wise. Anyway, and so you have bottles, like 500 something thousand. I think the cheapest bottle we bought throughout the entire trip was 900,000 naira. Like,
Hey.
let me repeat that. The cheapest bottle we bought at clubs was 900,000 naira. So we got two.
Let that sink in.
It was the Don Julio 1942 whatever brown bottle. And that was, and mind you, I didn't touch a single sip of liquor this entire trip. I didn't touch it at all. And I was just paying because she existed in that space. And even if she didn't exist in that space, I probably would have still had to pay.
But you did when you went out with the guys.
Yes. Yes, and I did. Yes, I didn't even touch that. Yeah.
Okay, let me just chip in.
So,
Which
yeah.
is very nice of you.
Well, yeah, no.
Very
So
nice.
that is like, it's honestly kind of crazy, like that you pay so much for these bottles and things. And
what's the story about watered down drinks?
Some places, sometimes they do have fake alcohol, and it's not. I think people don't understand when people say fake alcohol in Lagos, right? One, not every place has fake alcohol, Like, come on, don't destroy my city's reputation like that. But the places, and it's usually like a scam. We found that we happened to us one night due to a scam, but that's a whole different story. Where it's like the alcohol, they have the bottle, and what they do, it's not that they water it down. Like, they don't literally put water. That's stupid. You can't do alcohol and water. That's stupid. You find out. What they do is they make, or they get weak alcohol that is in the same family. Like, let's say if it's a tequila, they will take a tequila that is in the same family that is way cheaper. They will fill that bottle up, the brand name, a Don Julio, Casamigo, or whatever. fill it up with that, and then reseal it perfectly. So it's like as if you're having it for the first time. But in reality, it's fake, weak alcohol that does nothing. Like, you know, like some, either it's homemade weak stuff or like some shit stuff, right? You know, and one night, as a little thing, me and the boys, we went to a boho, right? But boho was packed, fully booked, of course. Lagos, Detty December, everyone is everywhere. It's fully booked. And we're go out, and it was like a situation of like, oh, or we're gonna, let's go to the next place. But then there's this guy that's walking really fast, and he comes to us, and he's like, yo, you man trying to get in? He like, look, he walked past us a little bit, and then he went and looked back and was like, you man trying to get in? I was like, yeah, we're trying to go boho. And then we're like, yeah, like, he's like, all right, come with me. So we go with him, and then it's like, boom. We just go through everybody. He just walks through everybody, you know. And boho is really cool because the outside of it is like a fake store. Like it's a fake store, and then it opens the refrigerator, and the club is inside the refrigerator. It's pretty cool concept. And then we go there, and then the man and them were like, yo, let's buy a bottle, because it's a courteous thing to do. Someone invites you to their table, you buy one bottle. Yeah, it's like buy one bottle, and then they wanted to buy one bottle of Casamigos, which was like 540,000 naira, I think. And boom, the waiter, and I felt it was so sketchy the whole time. The waiter was like, no, that's not enough. And then it's like, what do you mean that's not enough? It's the small one. It's like, no, that's the one we want, because obviously we're joining the table. We don't want to buy a whole big bottle or whatever. Anyway, back and forth between my friend and the waiter, and eventually just bought the bigger bottle for 1 point whatever. And they bring out that big bottle, 1 liter of Casamigos, and then one of them goes to the other guys like this, taste the drink, looked at each other straight away, and they're like, yeah, that is fake as hell. That is not Casamigos. But yeah, so that can happen, and it did happen to us, but that was the only time it happened. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
I think there was another instance where we went somewhere, and the guys were like, oh, this just tastes a little off. And then one of your friends called you, and he was saying the same thing, like, oh, the drink's tasting a little bit off to you, like in whatever place. And I think you said, oh yeah, Nicoletta was saying the same, but I did not say that. Matter of fact, like,
no, you did. You're like, oh, it was weak. I remember that time. You said to me it was weak, but then you returned afterwards. So I was like, clearly it wasn't weak at all.
You're making me taste 1942, Don Julio, whatever, something I've never tasted in my life. And you're asking me, does that taste weird to you? I'm like, yeah, it tastes like tequila. Like tequila I'm used to it's a lot weaker than this. And it was one of those nights where, you know, the guys got like bottles, but they didn't really want to sit at the table because there were already people at our tables. It was a bit of confusion there. So Debbie and I were left to our own vices, and we had to take as many shots as we could to make use of your
Don
money.
Julio. 2 bottles of Don Julio.
I think I lost
1.9 million naira.
I lost count. I think it was like 7-8 shots.
1.9
at that point, like, I didn't care what you gave me. It tasted all the same. I was like, yeah, whatever.
You know, it was crazy because that night I already spent a lot before that, and I had like 3 million or 4 million in my account. And when we came, they're like, oh, Farouk, you have to pay the bill. I just looked and I just prayed. I was like, I hope there's at least 2 million there in this account right now, because I knew it was gonna be around 1 point something. And then when they said 1.9, I was like, and I just put the card in, I hit the print, and I just prayed.
That's in Paris.
I was like, you know, because like I was funding the account as we went. I didn't load up with a frick ton of money, like, you know. Mm-hmm. So, but then it hit and it went through, and I was like, thank God.
Thank God.
Because I would have looked so bad. I'd have to call my dad like, Dad, you need to send some naira to this account now, right now, please. I'll send you the money straight away. Just send me the naira. It was the middle of the night. Obviously, he was sleeping. Like, he's sleeping, like, you know. But I have to wake him up, and he needs to do that for me.
Not even middle of the night. It was like 2 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. No, was that? Oh yeah, it was like 2 a.m. It was like 2 a.m. So it was like 1 a.m. back home. So he would have probably just fallen asleep. Mm-hmm. But luckily it went through or whatever. And I was just like, and then for the rest of the night, I was like, don't even ask me for cash. I mean money, guys. All I have is cash. All I have is cash.
Yeah, you ended up using that.
Yeah, and I used all 200,000 naira in cash. I had nothing left. But yeah, and that was like our second night going out. Yeah, that was literally our second night going out. And
day two, and he ran out of.
We already. It was day 2. And we already spent like 3 million naira. But once again, this is between them and them, so like 1 million each or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so but like I was like, oh my god, because the night before that we went to Obies House. You know, but we didn't have to spend anything for that, so that was not too bad. But yeah, no, honestly, clubbing in Lagos is just,
it can get you.
it's
there.
so good.
But then speaking of obviously the mandem, you guys may have noticed that no women were mentioned at all ever.
Because it's your choice.
It's just so, I didn't realize how common it is for women to not pay for anything. Like, and they always say it, and I'm like, oh, surely it's not like that. But no, actually it is like that. Because I remember even when we went out to eat, right, and there were these two girls that like joined the table, very, very nice girls, like became friends, blah, blah, blah. But at the end it was just like, yeah, we're gonna leave, you know. Like, oh, okay. And the guys were like, yeah, we'll just split the bill between ourselves. I was like,
We didn't even consider the women at all.
I was like, this is nice. Like, I could get used to this, you know, just sit back and relax.
That's very Nigerian though. Like we
Yeah.
don't like it. Like I would find it strange, like if ever we're in a time and we're like, oh yeah, you girls, you'll have to pay.
Yeah.
Like as well, like that. That thought has never crossed my mind or any of the people around me mind. You know, it's just standard. Like it's what we see. Like the guy, it's always the men that pay for the women. No one.
Yeah.
Like
I saw like even this TikTok of this girl being like, oh, how I went to the club, and it shows her like lip gloss in her purse, and when she comes back,
bundles.
there's like bundles in her bag, and that's entirely possible. That's entirely possible because these guys are spending money.
They're giving
they're
money
buying
out
drinks. They're offering drinks. Like I remember even one of the girlfriends that we made like at that table as well. And we went on a night out, and she happened to be there with some of her friends that we have never met. And we just joined tables, and they're like, oh yeah, have our drink, you know? And they're very giving that way. Like they're very, what's the word?
generous.
Very, very generous. And especially to women. It was just so nice. Like, it was just so nice. And then, like, you know, because we ended up in, like, you know, the strip club and whatever. And I was just given money to spray. Like, it was like, yeah, give me money. Like, somebody give me money because it's not going to be me.
Lol, everyone's just giving money for everything. Like, it's
So
actually
that's
kind of
really nice.
Yeah, I know. Like people, like Lagos is crazy because people just give money, and it's insane. Like you know, like the man then just spends so much money on women. Like it's crazy, you know. And like obviously they're doing it for themselves as well, but obviously like women are there. Like
Do you not have a good time?
like like in our like for example, we went to Mercury. That was one of the clubs, and there was like probably like 10 women deep at the table we were at, and there was only like
3 guys.
No, technically 4 of us.
Yeah, 3.
But it was actually 3 of us ended up paying for the bottles.
For all of us.
So you know what? 3 of us, because the 4th person didn't give me the money. So don't worry about that. That's a different story. So 3 of us at that table, and like if you include our girls, maybe like 13 girls deep at that table. And actually no, it was 4 of us. 4 of us that paid. Yeah, it was meant to be a 5th person. So 4 of us paid for the drinks at that table, and all the girls there just enjoyed it. You know, they took it. But you know, I think it's calm. Like, you know, it doesn't matter in the end of the day, as long as everyone's having fun, everyone's having a good time, you know, and no one's like thing. But obviously that's crazy. Obviously, as when we were like, let me just start booking my flights to Lagos. Like, you know, so.
But it's also, I did feel like it's kind of very connection based. Simply because, well, first of all,
during that time of the year.
Yeah, you brought to my attention that other girlies are not living like I am.
Yeah, because listen here, Nicola was complaining about like.
We'll get to that.
Oh yeah, she'll get to that, but she was complaining about something, and then I was like, listen here, buddy. There are other people who have come. There are other people. Your other counterparts have come to this country right now, and I've seen their TikToks, and they're going to do normal things, or their ticketed events. They are not even getting to most of these clubs during this time period because, as I said, it is so busy. Like Lagos is busy in general, let alone December, where there's all us, as you guys like to call us, fake Nigerians, whatever, you know, IJGBs, you know, come back. And then there's even more Nigerians. Now you have to either book well in advance, like book your tables well in advance, like a week before, or like make like honestly, my biggest advice is book at least a week before your tables, like, you know,
But
because they don't do like, you can't pre-book
but
like
the
you can
thing
here.
is, right? The problem with that is that I saw a TikTok of these two girls that went to Lagos by themselves, and they tried to book, and they were like, 1 million between the two of us, like, we're not gonna do that.
Obviously, yeah,
So
you
then
have to
you're
have the
kind
numbers.
of left to wonder about, because that's what I mean about connections. Like,
But the only saving grace out of that is you have to show up to the clubs early. You have to show up to the clubs when there's no one there.
and just kind of,
And you'll get in, and you have to wait. It's a sad reality of life, because
Yeah.
otherwise, what happens? You come at the start where everyone actually starts, like around 1
Yeah.
a.m., 2 a.m., right? You go to the door, the bouncers are there in front of you. There's everybody's guys pulling up at the same time as you. There's already a good few people inside. You go in, they're like, we are full. You're like, I know you're not full. What you mean is we are full because of all the people that are coming.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you're full. What is your table? And you're like, yeah. And it's
what's
either
the name? What's
yeah,
the name?
you either, and then they're like, okay, get the person that's on that table to come and get you. Come and get you. And you have to then wait for them to come and get you, and then you get in. Because you didn't have a table booked, you know?
Yeah.
And that's where the connections comes in, because all the people who know, who knows what, or who like have a crowd and they're like, oh, I'm going here, and then a bunch of other people are going to go there because they're going there. Everyone has booked the table. There's not enough room at the table. There's not enough room at the club. It's full capacity now, because remember, it's all tables. So you have to know someone that's going to be like, hi, okay, yes, they're with me, come in. And then you come in, and then you go into all the clubs. Otherwise, you have to book in advance, and you have to be either willing to spend that money with whatever group size you have. You have to be like, okay, all right, let's plan this. Next week, Monday, we're going to Obies House, book it.
And you need a group.
Yeah, like Tuesday, we're going to W Bar Lounge, book it. Wednesday.
Unless it's like, oh, like 3 guys, they'll have no problem finding women. You know,
Yeah.
like it's like, oh, us 3 book a table, and then we'll figure out the rest.
Yeah, obviously, like
That's
the women will
no
come to you.
problem.
The women will come to you.
No problem.
Don't worry about that. Just have the table. You know, I just be like, okay, Wednesday, want to go Mercury, book it. You know, you have to book a week in advance.
And if you're the woman, like you said, go early and wait for the men who book the table. And then
But more time they do let girls in. I did see that they would let like groups of girls in, but more time, to be honest. I never saw a group of girls going on their ones. It's always usually with at least one other guy who's like obviously who's not funding it, but is like at the table. God,
funding our night out.
and so essentially, it's like you need to make sure you book a table in accordance, and then worry about everything else later. Worry about everything after the fact.
I don't know,
because
man.
don't worry, like, because that was one thing that we did. We didn't know where it's like, oh, where's going to be busy? Everywhere is busy.
Everywhere is busy.
Everywhere. Once mid-December rolls around, everywhere is busy. There's no club you will go to that is open that won't be full. So don't worry about that. Just book a table of somewhere, go there, and then you go to another place. You know, the only issue I do see is like, obviously, like, we always do multiple clubs in a night. You never do one club. So let's say like you're at Mercury and then you want to go to Hotbox or something, right? Then like there is that risk that you get to Hotbox and it's boom, it's like, yeah, we're full.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Right? But obviously, if you time it accordingly and you go like for example, Hotbox doesn't open until like Boho and Hotbox don't open until 2 a.m. More than likely, people won't be there until 4 though.
Yeah.
Like more than likely, like those places that open at 2 don't get busy until 4 or 5.
But if you want to make sure,
So if you want to get in with your boys after you've only booked one table for the night, you just go to Hotbox at like 3 or right before 4 a.m. and then you'll get in, you know? So like you have to be smart and tactical about the way you do it. And I think that's how you do it successful. Because we flopped a few times. Like,
so that's
you know,
the next
which
conversation.
Nicoletta wants to talk about.
That's the next conversation. I'm
But
dying.
I still think we still made it work with the times we flopped. You get me?
Right. So I disagree. There were really high frustrations.
Not with me.
And by the end of the trip, 2 other people confirmed my frustrations. Because I felt kind of alone. I felt like, oh my God, is everyone having this much fun? And I'm the party pooper. And I didn't, don't get me wrong, like if I was there, I was always ready very early. I was always,
Nicoletta was always the first one to be ready.
to go, like ready to party. And
Everyone else was Nigerian time. Nicoletta was always ready on Western time.
It wasn't even like, okay, I understand Nigerian time. That's fine. I got myself a drink, like played some pool by myself, like had a good time, was ready to go. But then the delays, we got there. Oh, we no longer have the table. Okay, let's like, we need to find somewhere else. Okay, we need to
Wait, okay.
we
That
need to,
night, you have to explain that now. So, the night we went to Mercury,
it was our fault.
we were meant
showed
to
up late.
we were meant to be in the club by 12.
Yeah. We showed up at 2.
No, we showed up at 1:30.
Oh, come on. Yeah, at the club downstairs. Then we had to wait for a queue to go to the elevator. By the time we got there, it was 2.
We showed up at 1:30. We're meant to be there by latest by 12 to keep our table secure. But our table was already secure anyway in the end of the day.
Yeah, that we couldn't sit at because it was full.
Because they had already sat, the other girls had already sat down.
Girls that we don't even know.
In the end of the day, it is.
I'm just saying, like, it was frustrating. That ended up being a good night because I got quite drunk, right? But I actually didn't really drink the rest of the trip. Then, okay, another night, another delay, and it's like, kiki, like trying to figure out like where we're going, like, oh, let's get an Uber, the traffic is crazy. We get to the place and it's like, oh, full, or it's fully booked, we don't have a thing, we don't have a that, we don't know here, or oh, we know someone will get you in, and that person never gets you in, and like,
let's explain that again. Okay, the problem with that one was this was Knock was in an event, right? Knock by Alara, and our plug had went to tell the driver to go get tickets for an event that was happening there that night. But by the time they went there, the tickets were already fully sold out, as in oversold. Like they sold more tickets than there was, right?
Yeah.
So we're like, oh shit, okay. But at least we know someone that has a table there. So we got there, and that person at the table did eventually come and get us. But the problem was they didn't care if someone had a table. They were only letting people with tickets in.
We waited there for over half an hour.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we had tickets to a different event.
Yes, we did.
So now the third location we're going to is the event that we initially had tickets for.
Second location.
Oh, I thought we did something.
No, we went to Knock first.
That even makes it even worse. So we show up to the place, right, that we had tickets for, and it's the end. Like, it's the end of the event. Like, everybody's leaving. Nobody wants to be here anymore.
Nah, that was when it was getting busy still, though.
No, it wasn't.
It was
not getting busy.
Anyway, I would have, if that was the end where everyone was, I did not want to see the start of that event. And also, we went up on stage still. We had a good time. I don't want to be on stage. I want to have fun. We enjoyed the hour and a half we were there.
That was that. Then there was a different night where there was it was a friend's friend thing going on. We went to support, like, that was fine, but we did have tickets for a different place. Was that that was the same night as Knock, right?
No.
Where did we go that night? Or where were we supposed to go?
That we're meant to go.
Culture FM.
Oh yeah.
That would have been fun had we been there from the start. Also,
we were at Culture FM for a good bit.
Yeah, but the thing is that we all got hyped up. We went to this place. Everyone's mood just...
Well, that place was okay. That event was...
Like, come on.
All right. But the thing is,
whatever.
like, I still think we're better off going to Culture FM the time we went. Because we went to Culture FM at 1.
But had we been home, gotten lit, and then went there... Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's a different story. Yeah, but we got to Culture FM at 1 a.m. It was meant to finish at 3. It didn't stop until nearly 4 o'clock. So we were there for like nearly 3 hours in the first place anyway, and enjoyed that.
I think it was good, but like I said, it's the downs. Like, and the thing is, Farouk is not the type of person to experience downs because he doesn't drink. He's like always in the mood. He's always like plugged in.
Always lit.
Everyone else isn't. Like, there's downs and we all go down together and you're just like, hee hee hee. And we're like, huh? Anyway, a different night, and I feel like this could have been like my best night out because I was genuinely having so much fun at Native Land.
Oh yeah.
And the stage collapsed, and it's like, this is unforeseen circumstances. Like, first of all, we get dropped off at the wrong side of the beach. Fine, we walk, but we're still litty. Like, we're still having a good time. We start running because we hear gunshots. No problem. We're still having a good time. We get into the VIP. Like, we get a bottle, we get seats, like, it's a good time, and the stage collapses, and it's like...
Right before Odemodu performs. No central C either.
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? So whatever, we go to a different place.
That was an unfortunate event, though, unfortunately.
It was. Yeah. It wasn't part of the script, right? We went to this other place. It was kind of like... like that club. There was this white man. He was talking to me. Then he tried to start fighting
after
Farouk
native land. Yeah, Quillox. I said it about that guy. That white guy that tried to fight me in Quillox. Screw that guy. Yeah.
You know, and we left. We ended up leaving. But that was not the most successful night out either. Then we ended up going to November.
November was
trash.
dead. It was so dead. There was like nobody there. Like the dance floor was empty.
And what
near
makes
the
it worse,
end.
we're like, tonight we'll go early. We'll have a good time.
Yeah, that was the first time they were like, all right, because the girls kept complaining that we were going late, even though they were also part of the problem as to why we were late. I wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's like we were like, all right, we will show up early to an event finally. You know,
we had tickets for and everything.
You know, and so we showed up at like 12 something. Yeah. That place was damn near empty.
Dead. It was. I posted it on TikTok.
So dead.
And it didn't end up being full. And what makes it worse? We left, and it was a Monday night, and right across.
Literally just down the road.
As we're looking,
Obies House.
Fireworks, people
Obies
shouting,
House.
having a good time. Obies
Obies
House was
House.
on. All the celebrities were inside there.
Yeah. But we went to Obies House night the week before, but yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have a table. It was little.
Man, that night though got booked so quickly because
people knew. I swear to God, people knew who was coming.
Well, obviously, like as I said, it's always plugs. Like everyone knows, like, oh, I'm gonna be here this night. So
IRStar was there.
But they don't have to book. They just it's already safe for them.
I feel like if you know who's inside, it's like, oh, this person will be inside there.
Like,
and like there was Rema wasn't there, Tyler wasn't there that night. Of course it was.
Yeah,
there was gonna be no chance.
I think it was gonna be booked anyway due to the fact of the thing is. So we were part of batch B that came. And when we say batches, we came in the second week of December, right? So, but that was the week, and then the start of the third week. We came. Technically, it was the third week of December, but like remember, December started like it through minimum. Right. Anyway, this is neither here or there. Moral of the story: we went to Obies House on like maybe like the 15th or something, right? Of December. The moment you pass like the 17th of December, Lagos is full. Yeah. Right? So every Monday night from that point, from the midpoint of December, everyone's going to go to Obies House.
But the thing is, we should have booked on the Tuesday for the following week, and we waited till Wednesday.
No.
What was the expectation?
I did it on Wednesday. First thing in the morning.
But Tuesday, the whole of Tuesday was gone.
No, like once again. Yes, whatever. I did it on Wednesday morning.
But
I sent the text.
To blame.
No, I know.
I'm
saying
like seven of us that
I did it on Wednesday
something.
morning. Obies House, fully reserved, fully. I was like, yeah. But then they went to Obies House the week after. That was when we left, and that was apparently good as well.
Yeah, I'm glad for them. I'm actually happy for them because everyone was frustrated. So I'm glad that they. I had a nice time at Obies House personally. No, that was not a good
but it
time.
wasn't that good.
That was not a good time.
That one I can agree.
Awkwardly standing next to someone's table.
You know that guy ended up following me on Instagram and everything. So
that's
he was reaching out to me.
These are the connections that you need next year.
Some artist, yeah. So like, but yeah, it was, let me not lie, it was like, it was just Lagos. Like it was disorganized, but also I think
we were disorganized. Like also,
it's like a two-pronged thing, And the thing is, as I said, I think the problem was we had a lot of people who were in Lagos at the time as well. So we were trying to coordinate between our group and the other groups that we know, right? I think that's where the disorganization comes from. I think if you make a firm stance like this is where we're going, you all come and join us, that makes it way more certain. Yeah. Versus trying to, because our group, right, was already like, 7 people deep, right? Then the other groups were like maybe 9 people deep. And then other groups were like 11 people deep. Imagine trying to organize that many people to try sort something. It's so hard.
I know.
It is not easy. So
regardless, I feel like our last night out, if we went to Hotbox, it would have been a good time. But we didn't end up going.
Oh, yeah.
We ended up chilling. Everyone was
because I actually had it booked.
Yeah.
I had reserved.
Yeah. Everyone was just sick of it. And I hear it and I understand the frustration and I understand the disorganization and how that can be really annoying. Like, I get it. Would I go back? Yeah, like I'd definitely go back.
The way she says yeah, like as if she wouldn't jump to say yeah.
Yes.
Like straight
Yes.
away. Like let's end this properly. Like
Bring me there.
tell me, like regardless of the things, what would you say about partying in Lagos and Detty December as a whole?
I think partying and having a good time in Lagos is definitely what it can be. Well, I can't say what it can be.
Yeah,
it can
whatever.
definitely be a 9. Okay. I wouldn't give it a 10 because of the whole like table da 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 da. So I'd give it a 9. I would say my experience was maybe like a 5, 4.5, perhaps. And I feel like it's just us to blame, so I can't blame Lagos. You know,
I personally
can't
gave
say
it
Lagos was
a
the problem.
7 because it was good. Obviously, it could have been better.
Mm-hmm.
But I say this as well to my boys that I was talking to about it. On God, I don't think I've been in any better clubs in the world than I've been in the ones in Lagos, because like there's just something about the energy, the music, everything. Like the DJs are so good. Maybe it's because they're playing what I want to hear. But I've been places where they also play where I want to hear. I've been partying in New York. I've been partying in LA, where the primary scene is hip hop, right? And
But there was no hip hop here.
Well, in New York City there was.
No, in Lagos.
Well,
I think
there was hip hop.
They played very little.
No, they played hip hop.
It was very little.
I think you were maybe too wave to know, but
No,
there
I was not.
There was hip hop.
Even
In, like there was hip hop in. There was every club we went to. There was hip hop.
In Mercury, they
everywhere.
had some.
Everywhere there was hip hop.
I think it was mainly Afrobeats, and to be honest, like that's what people are there for. Like I don't know why they would play any other different genres.
Yeah, but also I feel like DJs are very good as well.
You're not hearing like any of like what's the typical white people music like when they go out, like
I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You're not hearing any of that.
God.
You know, I think if you're even hearing like any hip hop or whatever, it's always black artists. Like it's stuff that black people know.
Yeah,
and that's what you're there for. You know, so it makes sense.
Yeah, no, honestly, I said best music I ever heard in my life. Anyway, personally,
but I loved that. One thing I loved about Lagos was that there was music everywhere. Like shopping mall, you're hearing like the charts. Person working in a bank, you're hearing them listening to the charts. Like everywhere you're going,
like
you're
African
hearing,
charts, by the way, like what we're listening to.
Yes, you're hearing Afrobeats everywhere you go, and I really liked that. That was very nice.
Yeah, like I do really think it was honestly like I stand by it, like best clubs ever. Like I've been to a lot of clubs around the world.
I want to get really quick to booking a personal driver. Do you think that's needed when going to Lagos?
I think it makes life easier, but I don't think it's required.
Okay.
I think Uber is actually very, like, I used Uber and Bolt the last time I was there, but I only used it like twice. But this time we used it every single day, multiple times a day. And honestly, I think it is so good. Glovo, clutch for ordering food. But honestly, I think Uber and Bolt. Bolt, by the way, you can use Apple Pay on it. So if you have a Revolut or one of those online accounts, banks that does the transaction fees, it just convert it nice at the best fee for you or whatever rate. But Uber, you can pay with cash. You can pay with the same with Bolt, by the way, or you can pay with your Naira account if you have one.
Yeah, definitely have your cash on you though. Definitely.
Yeah, as well. But honestly, I think it is so well. Like people were saying that, it's gonna be hell. I didn't think it was that bad to use it. Even when we're going between clubs and stuff like that, we could still find drivers.
Like, okay, yeah, everyone's there with their Urus's big car.
Well, I will say though,
we're running out of our Toyota or Suzuki, but that's okay.
Lagos messed up my Uber score. Really? You fucking drivers. I tipped every single one of you motherfuckers.
Really?
And now my score was 4.87. Now it's 4.78. I mean 4.7. Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know. Maybe someone was.
How many people of you gave me less than 5 stars? Like I was so good. But anyway,
I think there was like 2 people we didn't tip. And
no, I tipped everyone.
No.
On the app. Even.
Oh. Okay.
I always tipped everyone. I tipped everybody.
Anyway, another thing, just really quick to mention, that is probably going to be part of your night out in Lagos is getting stopped, getting pulled over by the police holding guns. and they will ask if you have something for the boys.
Something for the boys. Something for the boys. Complimentary.
Compliments.
Just tell them you don't have any money on you and just move on with your life.
They will ask, if they ask you to get out of the car, don't.
Obviously.
I didn't know that. I think if Farouk wasn't there, I'd be out of the car and confiscate.
They wouldn't have done that to you once again because you're just.
No, but as in, if you don't know.
But as like obviously, like the thing is, like if you get out of the car or something, like they can then search you, and then it's like, oh, if they see you have money on you, then they're just gonna be like pressure you.
Yeah.
Like they're not doing anything bad. I mean, like they're not physically harming you, but they will pressure you to give you all that money or whatever, to intimidate you. Whereas you just stay in the car and just be like, I don't have any cash, sorry. They'll just let you go.
Sorry.
Just go.
Yeah, but I think the frequency at which it happened was more than I expected. We were pretty much stopped every night somewhere. They just block off a road, and then like you just have to stop. And generally, if they see me in the car is getting stopped. But if I just pretended I was sleeping or whatever, duck down, they didn't. So that was interesting.
Yeah, obviously. But as I said, you just be smart and navigate that well.
But also, if obviously just have some cash on you, if you just want to give them something, like it's a lot faster. It's a lot.
You just hand them like 1,000 there and just get out of there.
Get out of there. I also would recommend having cash on you just cause like if there was like kids coming up or like mom talking on the street or like what just give. Yeah. Just give. But, like it's very little to us visiting
in comparison. Definitely have. I think though having a driver is pretty good. Like if you have one the whole time, it makes your life so much easier because like you can just get a car and get a driver, but you need somewhere for the driver to obviously stay if you're going to do 24/7. Otherwise you can do during the day or during the night. It's very easy to do. And then you just have that. Like I was thinking, we wouldn't need it for every night, but in the end of the day, if we had it for every night, it would have made our life easier as well. Yeah. So having to get
even during the day, if we wanted to go like to the store or whatever.
Yeah, we could like, and I would personally say get drivers for the nights, not for the day, because the day is easy. Just get an Uber to like a ShopRite or anything and just get your stuff and come back. But during the night, like instead of having to wait, just be like, oh yeah, let's go, whatever, and you don't have to.
And they'll be there like for location 1, location 2.
You don't have to come 15. With a Suzuki Expresso or like a Toyota Corolla or anything. Why everyone's rolling up with that. Man, we went to W Bar Lounge one night and there was like 10 Brabuses outside. That shit was crazy.
But there was a lot of celebrities inside.
No. Oh. There was like 10 Brabuses. Celebrities, schmeledities. They're celebrities I know that can't afford Brabuses.
Regardless, we pulled up in a little Suzuki, got out of the car, went to the entrance, and she said fully booked. And we had to awkwardly sit there and wait for a Suzuki to come back.
No, it was a different car.
Okay, Toyota.
It was a Toyota. And we went back home. It was fun because that place was like 2 minutes away from where we were at.
But it's just funny.
But honestly, it's calm, honestly. And I don't know. Like all in all, Detty December, I have to rate that trip really well. I really enjoyed the trip either way.
Yeah, we get it. You already said that.
No, I'm saying like overall, forget about the clubbing. Okay. I really just enjoyed it. I don't think I've ever gone back to Lagos and not had a good time.
I loved my trip too. I definitely turned back. You know what? That's actually one thing. I have gotten asked like, is it weird being like, white there or whatever? And I feel like these questions come from people who have never been the only white person in a room. Because the concept of that seems weird
to them. Yeah.
It's like, what must that feel like? But I've been in places where I've been one of either the only white person or like one of the few white people. So being in Lagos didn't make me feel like I was definitely standing out because people were like saying it, but I didn't feel like, and by people, it's like people who actually live there and don't. Yeah. Versus like everyone who's like in the place with you, they don't give a shit about it. They don't look there. They don't care. They might give me a look like, why is a white person? Yeah, they're like, there's a white person. That's surprising. Why are you doing? But to be honest, there was, as I said, I said the last episode, there was bare Oyinbo, not the Oyinbo people that lived there. Not that many though. No, I remember every single club we went to, I saw a handful at least. Yeah. At least 5 to 10 Oyinbo people like that came with someone. And I'm just like, this is crazy numbers. Yeah, no, because if that's in the club we are, there's like so many other clubs and they're chilling there too. I feel like when you said it, when you went last 2 years ago or whatever, you were like, there's bare white people. So I expected a lot more. And I think that was like, oh, there actually isn't that many. Like when you said a lot, like I
Well,
thought
that's a
like
lot. Like,
every other fucking person.
Well, no,
there would
there's
be
a where like if you're talking about like in general in Lagos, there's bare white people. There is bare
It's
like
a
you
lot
go
of Lebanese,
like you go
Asian.
yeah,
But
like,
it's in confined spaces in schools.
yeah, obviously because they have their own area.
Regardless on nights out and stuff, like I didn't feel weird. That was not weird to me at all. And it was fun. I had a really good time. And the girls in Lagos were very nice to me.
We're friendly people.
They were very nice to me.
We are friendly people. Our food is good. Hit up shout out the other guys had a problem with. I didn't have a problem. Shout out Prime for the nights after the nights out. Prime Chinese, 24 hours. That place is so good. Besides the one altercation we had with that stupid waiter who and I already gave you a mouthful. So you know what? Let me just stop because I already gave you a mouthful while we were there. But like every other time, the food was good. The fact that the portions, I love Nigeria. We do proper portions. The portions are good. The food was tasty. And it's so good after a night out. Like 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. You're just there eating it. You're like, this is good. And you go sizzling hot. And then you go home and you sleep. Oh, so good.
One thing I did notice though, when we went out to places, like they bring out food as it's ready versus food out when it's ready for everyone.
Yes. Thank you.
I didn't really like that.
I love that.
I didn't really like that because I don't want to watch you finish your food while I'm still waiting for mine.
Yeah, but that's why you order
like
that's why we order in big bunches. Like for example, when we ordered spring rolls, we ordered enough spring rolls for everybody
I don't mean
like
Prime.
partake. Yeah.
I mean like other places.
Yeah, obviously they can.
I actually enjoy Prime. I thought that was a great vibe in there.
Yeah.
They had some nice drinks. Like,
and that place is busy like every single night. And there's people there.
Breakfast, technically.
Yeah, technically it's
every
breakfast.
Morning,
yeah.
We ended up in there. Another thing, I feel like we're making this so long, but like, this was funny to me seeing Farouk like, Farouk's like side coming out of like, calling people out for nonsense. Did I talk about this in the last episode? I don't remember. But it was really funny because I feel like here in the West, expectations, personalities are very different, especially as a black
White
man.
people judge me.
Yes, it's like, oh, angry black man, whatever.
Yeah.
BS. Like, but there it was funny. Like, say this one guy was in our Uber and Farouk just opened his door and was like, get out of my Uber.
Like, why are you in my Uber?
Why are you in my Uber?
Yeah, I was trying to tell the guy, I just want to go. I don't care where you want to get out of my car. Like
that was funny. Like he was calling people out, but not in an aggressive way or anything. It was just like, get out of my car. And like another guy who tried to skip me in a queue in a shopping mall. Like, I saw you. Like, and then he felt bad, and I felt bad. I was like, let him stay, and then he stayed.
You only had like 3 items anyway. I
Yeah.
just had to. It was for the principle of the matter.
The guy in Prime, you're like, mm-mm.
No, that guy pissed me off. Let me tell you that story real quick. We're turning off this thing, right? So, there's some people that just come and you just know you don't have it all up there. You know, you're away with the fairies, as the Irish would say. You're away with the fairies. So he comes and it's like getting the orders. He's already getting the orders wrong, and we're repeating it. And I'm just like, okay, just take the order and go, please. I'm hungry. And then it's like 20 minutes past. I'm like, man, it's taking a little bit, But I'm like, and then I see a lot of people at the front. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's because it's busy, right? And the last time it did take a little bit for our food. Like, I think it was around 20, 30 minutes our food came out. But it started like, by then all our food was like 20, 30 minutes. The first thing came out, and then within 5 minutes, everything was there, right? But then I was like, okay. And then like 30 minutes go by. I'm like,
Other people around us that came after us.
And then I looked, behind us. I was like, wait a minute.
Food.
This guy behind us or came after.
Almost finished their food.
And I was like, okay. I was like, okay. I was trying to be like, I didn't want to be that guy. So I was like, okay. 10 minutes. I was like, I'm done. I stood the fuck up and I went over to the lady at the counter, being like, yo, I ordered like 40 minutes ago, my food's not here. Like, what's the story? And she's like, oh, who's your waiter? And I couldn't find him. And when he came, I was like, that idiot right there, that's the one that was our freaking waiter. And then I was like, come here right now. And I was like, you tell him our food. And it's like, oh, and he like apparently he didn't do it properly or whatever. And I was like, I knew from the moment you came, I was so mad. I was just giving out to him. I was like, once again, I'm giving out to him because it's like, yo, you never even thought, you completely forgot about us, like whatever. And then the next thing, she's like, oh yeah, it's calm, and it's like whatever. So end of the day, when we came back to pay,
I didn't feel bad for him. He was too scared. He went hiding.
Good. Because
He saw you stand up and ran.
good, because I was so vexed because it was his fault. It was no one else's fault.
I know,
but
but
his,
still.
right? Like, you know, and he ordered and he went to other tables as well and did their stuff. So it's just me he screwed over. Well, oh sorry, he screwed over, but I felt disrespected. So I called him out on it, and then at the end, I was obviously so vexed, and I told him, I was like, yeah, like this is like you have to. So they took away the cost of all the appetizers and drinks. I was like, yeah, okay, nah, and I've only paid for the mains because like that was ridiculous. Like,
Yeah,
that was ridiculous.
but I think standing your ground is like really important, not in a Karen way, but in a like this is wrong. You know,
do that in the West too, right?
Yeah.
Like you do that in the West too. Do it everywhere.
I feel like
well,
you definitely let things slide here.
well, no, it depends.
But-
like if someone skips me in line here, I'm just calling it out.
Yeah.
Like I don't let anyone skip me out. But the way at which I approach it is kind of different because obviously, like
Hey,
that's how they're gonna be like,
so-
he's assaulting me.
Yeah.
Nonsense. Get the.
But anyways, I feel like we really yapped and yapped and yapped.
Yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys like the sound of Lagos and you're willing to go and do it, go enjoy it. I think everybody should
Have
go.
someone that you're
regardless.
going with.
Like,
So really, I would say it's really difficult if you're completely foreign.
no, I think foreigners can figure their way
No.
out.
Imagine Chloe and Eve going to Lagos together by themselves. Hey,
That would,
all their money gone in the airport alone. Done.
I don't know. I feel like Chloe's a bit confrontational. I feel like she'd be like, no, maybe she's confrontational to us because she's
Chloe
comfortable.
gets really uncomfortable when I ask to take the service
Oh, okay.
off the bill.
Yeah, they're getting sniped. Like they're getting.
They're
done.
not. They'll stay inside the house because they'll be too afraid to leave. They're like, I can't leave. They're gonna take all my money again.
No,
and
yeah.
they're not taking the money you're giving. Like they
Yeah, you
won't
have to
give.
stand your ground. Like you have to. Like I think this is my biggest tip for anyone who's going to Lagos. Just because someone asks you for something for the boys, complimentary, you don't have to give it. Even if they stand around, just say no and put your foot down. That's all you have to do, and that is all.
Yeah.
You know, like no one's going to beat you, no one's going to attack you, no one's going to stalk you. They don't do that.
My favorite was like when every single time there was a group of us, the last person to leave was always stopped at the door. Like, you give us something.
And just be like, no, bye bye. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, but like I said, despite all that, if there's like kids around, if there's mom talking, if there's whatever, just give.
Well, that's a different story.
Just
Yeah,
give.
obviously.
Tip your hair.
Don't give the
salon,
people you know
tip
are
your
making
nail.
money.
Yeah,
Give the people
well,
that
yeah.
are less fortunate.
Or if it's like if they did nothing, just stood at the door and
Yeah.
like.
Like, why are you giving? To be honest, sometimes those guys, because it can come around sometimes. Sometimes
You know,
need it.
sometimes you do,
You
but
know, like,
it's
so-
not like you have to feel like you have to give money to literally everybody. But I do think you should know someone if you go. I think if it's just two like regular white people, I think they would struggle.
It depends on the person.
They would
Like, it depends on the
struggle.
person. I know a few Omibo people that I feel like could survive well in there. Like, I feel like every Sharif did become there. But Sharif is African, so like he's from
Yeah,
Egypt.
he's
He
used
understands.
to that.
He understands how it works. Like every time he goes back to Egypt, he's used to doing the same thing. So like
Headache.
you know, but yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, we've gone on for too long, and we
you
hope
guys
you enjoyed our Yab
enjoyed.
session, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace.